Hello. Today I'm running a virtual machine, running you through the installation process of openSUSE. The Leap Edition. Leap is their stable long-term support version. Although they do have Tumbleweed, which is their bleeding edge rolling release edition. But today we're going to run the Leap LTS version. The installation is actually quite long for a Linux installation. It took me about 40 minutes to install in VirtualBox. That's because it comes jam-packed with all of their software, including the openSUSE specific YAST, which is what separates openSUSE from other Linux distributions. A lot of the process is automated, so there isn't much for you to configure. As you can see, it does a lot of requirements for you, like adding repositories, updating the installer, and much more. I like the amount of information it provides you with, letting you know exactly what the installer is doing. openSUSE is very good for keeping you in control and displaying as much information as possible with all aspects of the operating system. Make sure you change your locale to your local country, so prevent any keyboard issues. Also, you need to active the online repositories to get the full load of openSUSE software, as lots of the software wasn't able to fit onto the installation medium. It does come pre-installed with the main repositories, but if you're an advanced user, you can get more available repositories, but they're not required for the average user. I found openSUSE pretty much has everything you need in their package management system. It's one of the very few distributions that don't require flatpaks, as their software GUI store covers everything. Choose your desktop environment, or server if that's what you're creating. I often use XFCE for all my operating systems. It's highly customizable and very lightweight on system resources. For this install, you can partition the drives yourself or use their guided partitioner. The default it's set to guided, which we will be using during this installation. Choose what time zone you are located in. It should identify where you without needing to choose, but make sure it's set to the correct area. Enter your username and choose a secure password for your root account. Also make sure you untick automatically login, as this is not a good option to have. If it warns you about the password not being secure, you need to confirm that you want to use that password. Review the installation configuration and click Install. This should take about 30 minutes to install fully, however I will not bore you with the installation itself and speed up the video. When the installation is complete, you will need to restart your system and remove the installation ISO medium. Then you can use your desktop. Once the system has booted, you will need to enter your user password on the login screen. Then you can start using your openSUSE system. As you can see, it comes pre-installed with lots of the typical XFCE software. Not bloated, but just enough for you to get started. With different text editors and office suites. Also multimedia software. Lots of different settings to customize your desktop and environment. Most importantly though, the YAST software. This is what separates openSUSE from all other Linux distributions. Their YAST Center is a very secure set of system tools to manage and control your system. For example, let's take a look at the YAST Security Center. Enter your root password, as this will be accessing system administrator configurations. Here you're able to harden your system. It tells you areas that need changing for you to make your system more secure. openSUSE also has their own software GUI store, which is very extensive. It will likely have everything you need within its repositories. You need to search for the software, and anything matching that description, it will bring up the results. As an example, let me install NeoFetch. Their software management system is RPM, which is not the fastest. What it lacks in speed, it makes up for in stability and effectiveness. I've never had any dependency issues using RPM, not like on Debian or Arch Linux. Nothing seems to get installed on openSUSE unless the package is good to install. You don't get 99% through, and it fails. If there's an issue, it tells you prior, which I think is what makes it such a good operating system, even for beginners. Yast also has a section to edit the repositories and add new ones if required. Make sure to spend time using their Yast tool, as it covers everything that any system administrator needs to monitor and strengthen their system. I've only slightly touched on what this operating system has to offer. I recommend installing and seeing what it has to offer, because openSUSE is by far one of the top 5 Linux distributions, and has been for some time. Thanks for watching, and if you use openSUSE or thinking about it, then you've made the right decision.